They'll be calling you a radical. Kevin Blanch, nuclear update. I know a lot of you people, and people are just showing up my YouTube channel, don't understand. This is more than meets the eye. There is a method behind my madness. And as far as the Blue Oyster cult, the real cult, the nuclear industry cult, the Oyster Creek cult, the nuclear energy, the 1% crowning jewel, an update. This is imminent. This is imminent right here, right now, as you global change deniers, as you take this quantum leap and think men are not responsible for their actions. Men are responsible for their actions. As we have taken our minds, our contemporaries' mind is there is no wrong or right. There's only a popular opinion. I am a solutions guy. I am a problem solver. That's what artists are. Great artists. Great artists are problem solvers. And in order to solve the problem, you have to understand what is the problem. In order to have a solution, you have to know it. And we are so contemporized, drool on ourselves more, and people say, oh, I have trouble taking you serious with these hats and this headgear. I have trouble taking you serious. As with, hey, honey, did you borrow my hairspray again? Grown men and hairspray. Wow, as you listen to these contemporaries' lies over and over and over, as it is, there is no wrong or right, there's only popular opinion. Popular opinion in America is me, right now, here, right now, denial. Global change is real, it has happened. I hear so many times when we talk about the dead, we talk about future, I'm tired of that. It is now, the future generation is now. It is now. These catastrophic, as we frack Mother Earth so hard, and there is no consequences. There is. For every action there is a reaction, and the reaction here has been denial. There is a consequence, and the consequence is the nuclear nightmare, the cult, the giant cult, the nuclear cult, the evil cult, the nuclear, as I've called it, the nuclear vagina, the nuclear triangle, the evil cult. As I use that number 252 all the time. People say, where do you come up with that 252? I'll get into it. It's complex. The number 104 nuclear reactors in the United States that have not been updated in 40 years. They're using 1930s technology, fire up a generator. If you don't believe me, read their own words to cool the cement fuel. Remember this. To all you people that are just coming to this site and whatever, the spent fuel rods are stored on site in these nuclear plants in the United States. They were never intended, as we were promised in the 1970s, when this thing was all building up, they had a plan. Yucca Mountain was the plan. Put it underground, build Yucca Mountain. They built Yucca Mountain. As Harry Reid, the Mormon from here, placed himself, who's no progressive, by the way, who placed Jackal, and Jackal grew a conscience and backed out after the Fukushima nightmare. Now we have Miss McFarlane. She wrote a book. Oh, there's an ancient underground river running under Yucca Mountain. Really? Well, there's an ancient freaking river that's been running across the earth. The we. The circle is Mother Earth is not big. The we. That ancient river's called the jet stream. She says, don't put it there, and so they've kicked the can, and that's why she's put in place now. These are gifts to Harry Reid. Now, I don't dislike Jackal or Miss McFarlane. I like them both. I think they're both headed down the path to back out nuclear, as nuclear's done. I'm telling you right now it is done, but here in Drool on Yourself, put some hairspray on it, and that is contemporized, but anybody who's an artist who uses creativity, uses any kind of new solution solving, you're crazy radical. That's who we are, because we are a backwards people as we backed up. And I'll tell you what, I love Jill Stein, by the way. I love her. But I can't vote for her because Jennifer Granholm has finally talked me into it. She's talked me into it. I'm going to vote for him. I am, because she talked me into it on the popular vote because of Joe Biden. I love Joe. That's why he's getting my vote. Because I know people say, oh, it doesn't matter one way or the other. Yeah, you're probably right. We don't have any solutions. Here's my solution on nuclear power. As this is a nightmare disaster way that's going. Think about this. Say that storm surge, the hurricane would have amped up just a little bit harder, that we've had 2 in 2 years. Does its hard left into the country, bolts in. Oyster Creek, Indian Point, Yankee, all of them sitting on that rim over and over. Okay, say it was amped up just a little bit higher than it was. It swamps those generators so grotesquely that we have a Fukushima incident. Okay, say that F5 that ripped through the University of Alabama, or freaking ripped through all over through the country, that was on the ground for literally miles and miles and miles. Say it just drops down on one of those nuclear plants. And everybody says, oh, they're built for it. They're not built for it. That is a lie. And people say, oh, you can't turn them off. You can't turn them off. Germany's done it. The playbook, and let me tell you how posture and groom the 1% does this. I read the article in Business Week as he wrote that Germany has said that their plan to knock these out, which they're doing. They're not talking about it. They're doing it. As 3 of the strongest economies in the world are doing it, as the G8, 3 of the original G8, Switzerland, Germany, and Japan are doing it. He says, oh, it's costing them much more. That is a blatant lie. I have very strong ties in Switzerland and Germany who are in my sight every day, who talk to my families from over there. They live there. It's costing much less. Much less. We have the technology. It exists. It is here. That is pure posture and grooming. You people will buy anything. You'll buy anything. Oh, there is no global warming. You morons. Come on. Hello. And tell you to your death. My child has a brain tumor. I've been meeting with this female. Trying to help her through this. Her 5-year-old little girl died. As I've been to the edge, and I've stood and looked down, and I've lost a lot of friends, as I have AML leukemia, and I've been fighting for my freaking life. As my father was nuked to death in the Nevada test site, as I went through this whole dynamic my entire life. There is a solution, and I'm a solution guy. I've been to, you, me. It's all about her. It was never about her child. That's the problem. It's never about you until you get it. Even your old people, your mother, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your child is dying of cancer because of... Nuclear fallout is accumulative. Half-life of minimum 24,000. Half-life of 200,000, the type of fuel. It's stored on site. It was never intended to be stored on site in these pools. So what is the solution, Kevin? Get rid of it. We have to get rid of it. We have the technology. The grid, oh, people say, we can't build it. We have the grid. The grid exists. The grid is there. We have the grid. Update the grid. We have the sun farms, although we use them here. We're doing them right here. What's so blatant about this idealism here? It is Germany companies that are coming right in here to Utah that are doing this. It's happening right now. And they say, oh, well, what about coal? Coal has the ability, we have the technology to clean up coal 99% of its emissions. 99%! We have the ability to do this. That's what's so sick about this. We have the technology. As the contemporized moron cannot grasp this in their sick little pea brain because they're too busy as the fake radical military mask murdering marauders in hairspray. That is who you are. The fake radical Christian complex military mass murderers that you become. We spend $680 billion a year on the fucking masquerading fucking mass murdering marauders complex. Move that dynamic. Shift that dynamic. Become a solution. If you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And to the Progressive Caucus, all you guys, become progressive. How can you call yourselves a Progressive Caucus? You are not progressive. Yeah, granted, the right is regressive, but you are sit there and do nothing. This isn't about just bitching. This is about doing. We have to, as Americans and as people, become problem solvers again. We have the problem. I have the solution. I really do. And as far as the economy, I have the solution to that too. I could solve all the economic problems if I was a president or any other president could in 30 seconds with an executive order. 50% tariffs on exploited Chinese goods. That's simple. That's simple. Sign in, 50% tariff on freaking any Chinese, well, any Asian market or any South American market that exploits their labor, 50% tariff. Do the math just on Walmart alone. The debt's gone. We don't have to raise taxes. We don't have to cut programs. We don't have to do any. We can expand programs. We become rich. We have money for the infrastructure. I agree with Jill. Stein. She's right about the green job solution. That's updating the grid. It's really that simple. It's that simple. We have to get rid of these nuclear plants. We have to mothball them slowly. People say, oh, it's going to cost $1 billion. That is a lie. That is a lie. That is a fucking lie. Germany's doing it. Their playbook. They're accelerating their program. Switzerland's doing it. Japan doing it? Yeah, by default. As the NRA and the IEA have become TEPCO and the IAA have become the modern day Tokyo Rose. That's who they are. They're the Tokyo Rose. I have the solution. I'm going to set up, I wish, I need somebody to help me. I want to set up a lecture. Maybe I'll do it at our university. And I've done this lecture many times on the solution. Very simple solution. It isn't fairy tale, science fiction. No, that's our economics, science fiction, economics, Alan Greenspan. As you far-right radicals, what are you going to do? Take your AK-47 and shoot those freaking cesium-134 plutonium isotopes out of the air? They are everywhere. They are everywhere. It's accumulative. It builds up in your body. We all have Chernobyl in us. We all have the Nevada test site in us. We all have low-level accidents in us. We all have some little boy in us. All of us. We all have a whole bunch of Fukushima and more to come. Fukushima is on its way. It is ongoing. We're going to wait till it's too late as we become this reactionary society, and that's all we have to do is react. And what other people, you people that watch my videos, as far as you need economic advice, and watch my videos, talk to people down here. What kind of economic and what stocks I've told you to buy over the last 2-3 years. What home runs over and over. Yeah, I know you're going to argue and say it's boring. Their forward PE ratio right now is 8. Yeah, Microsoft. My price target, 1-year price target, $42. They're 28 right now. High dividend yield. Seriously, seriously. You got $1 million, you got $2 million, you got $5 million. I would go in 65-70%. Seriously. That's where I would go. I'm about solutions. I'm about problem solving. I'm an artist, and that's what great. And in order to be a real problem solver, you have to be an artist because it takes creativity. But to be the artist, you have to understand the past, and you have to understand the problem. As it's very similar to a PhD, but it's more than a PhD. You have to understand what is your thesis, what is your hypothesis, what is your question, what is your conclusion, what is your solution. As I say it like this, I'll leave it like this. Post-ignorance. As I see post-ignorance as a pure art movement, the concept of art itself, and the concept of art is culture, and the concept that people are culture, and the concept that inspiration and influence are great historical artists like Van Gogh, Malay, like Pollock's reference to Kandinsky, like Monet to the sunlight, morning, dawn, winter, fall, spring. It is influenced by the invoqueness of the time. I look at culture, and thereof this today. Economic theory, popular culture, art is a more reality, lack thereof art. The mind of seeing when others for unseen cognitive reason do not see. Everyone saw light from millenniums, everyone saw a simple line from millenniums, everyone saw electric color from millenniums. It is more per se than the artist. Monet saw the light, Malay saw the struggle, Van Gogh saw the line, Smithson saw the simplicity of the line, the shape against the landscape, Kandinsky saw the election of color and shape, Pollock saw the color of dynamics and motion, but much more than that, they saw decades ahead of the truth. Their minds saw fact and truth. Their minds were strong enough to act upon what they understood when all others did not understand, not yet. They had strong backs and knew how to work. They were the purification of ambition, intelligent, education, smooth with work ethic. I visualized for over 2 decades, via my hawk and trowel, via my keyboard, via my paintbrush, via my cardboard 3-door throwaway camera, via my flip video camera, via my soapbox, via my websites is this: pure, poetic injustice to the entire world, wars without provocation, pain without a crime, love without an artistic spirit, ignorance with a club, a big club. As the counter, what I have termed neo-ignorance is post-ignorance. I see post-ignorance like this, as a movement in pure intellectualism, in a broad intellectualism. Not I know art history, not I know how to draw like a camera, not I know how to interpret, but I know how to incorporate. But I know culture, I know environments in the more exposed manner. I know economics, I know geopolitics, I know metaphors good and bad, I know struggle and what it feels like to be stolen in wealth, artistic and malevolent. This is about doing. And in order to solve the solution, you have to understand the problem. What is the problem? What is the problem? Contemporized opinion. The problem is you, is the masses. Is the masses. It is the hairspray. It is the hairspray. It is the fake radical militaries, industrialized, fake radical Christians in hairspray. As you will go to the booth and say, everybody in my district knows all about politics, presidential politics. They don't even know who their freaking state representative is. We're in District 1 here, the most reddest district in the country, as we used to be the bluest, and we were rich, now we're poor. They don't even know who he is. He doesn't even campaign. His name's Rob Bishop, the worst politician this state's ever had, as we've got so grotesquely poor in this freaking district because of him. But they don't know who he is, because it is popular opinion. Nuclear energy needs to end. As the earth has changed, as she has been fracked so hard, we're going to have a major in the east coast of the United States nuclear disaster. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I mean, we've been on that close. If they swamp one of these things out, and freaking the NRC themselves on Fukushima, I'll play the tape to you. I have their tape as they had conversation. We would evacuate a 75-mile radius. You take a 75-mile-an-hour radius around the Blue Oyster Cults, Oyster Creek, the cult, the nuclear cult. Sorry, Blue Oyster is the cult. Their cult. You take a 75-mile-an-hour radius and make that inhabitable for 24,200 years at minimum. Take out your freaking map and draw a line. Oh, you freaking, yeah, right. These morons can't tell you who the next state is over. Kevin Blanch.